So, as everybody can see, we have a very, very special guest with us today, and it's none other than captain of the Reggae Boys himself, Andre Blake. Andre, firstly, all the best to you for the new year. Hope you and the family doing well.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, man, everybody good. So, so good so far.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. Firstly, let's start with, 2022 for you. How would you describe the year as a whole for you? Was it a year of progress, a year of success, everything that was going on, especially club-wise with all the accolades that you got?
Yeah, it's been a big year for me. I would say definitely the biggest year of my career, accolades wise, was a very decorative year, very thankful for all that I was able to achieve, and yeah, it was just when I really reflect, even club wise, not just personally, the club had a really big year, and something that again I'm really grateful for, and then hopefully this year again I can, go a step further.
Philly, is very big on sports teams, their basketball team, their NFL, and all of that. Do you feel like the city as a whole embrace you more based on, everything that is going on? You can walk down the streets and people taking football, soccer more seriously, know who you are and what you do for the city?
Yeah, definitely. Even the club, not just me, but before, in Philadelphia, they talk about the Phillies, the Flyers, and the Eagles. You never really hear anybody talking about the Union. But the club has been doing so well over the years that the Union is right up there now. Every time you mention a sport team from Philly, you have to mention the Union. So it's really good that the club has gained that respect. And as for myself, yeah, it's definitely a fulfilling feeling to be walking, through the city and being recognized, So yeah, that's big time.
Yeah, most definitely. And as you know, this is your 10th season within the league. Yesterday marked the anniversary, 9-year anniversary being drafted to the league. Does Philly right now feel like home for you after spending so much time there?
Yeah, it definitely does. Philly is all I know in my professional career. And it's, I would say it's definitely not easy to be in one place, and being able to produce, year after year, because after a while, you can get complacent, I would say, so I have to guard myself against all those stuff. But, one of my aim is always to get better every year. So I don't really leave any room for complacency. But Philly is all I know. It's a great city, great club. I've grown with the club, and yeah, I still think there's a lot more to come from this club. And, I like the culture now that we have created at this club, and yeah, big ambitions.
Yeah, as you know, I think sometime last week, Philly had did a collab post with you on IG, 10 seasons loading, where you're holding up 10 fingers and everything like that. It was a nice gesture of them to do for you. When you go through the comments, Andre, and you see fans saying, you have mixed views, of course, they're happy for you based on what you're doing. And some say, well, based on your potential, you should be in Europe, would love to see that exposure. How do you feel when you see, different views of fans and where you should be, what you're doing now and all of that?
I mean, it's a good feeling when fans believe that I should be playing in Europe. Definitely that must, that speaks volume that they must have, seen something over the years. It's too bad that people that's supposed to see it haven't seen it yet. Hence why I'm still where I am. But yeah, it's definitely a great feeling, to see that they view me like that. It's an honor. But for me, I'm still here, and while I'm still here, I just have to keep making the best of what I have.
Is that still an ambition for you, or you take things one day at a time, one season at a time?
Yeah, I do take things one step at a time, stride by stride. But I'm never gonna let go of that dream until I retire. So I still believe, and hopefully that it will still happen.
Yeah, How much encouragement does it give you when you have persons like a Gigi Buffon or a Van der Sar that played into their 40s? Is that, an ambition of yours? Do you feel at your peak physically right now?
I feel good, as a goalkeeper. The older you get, the better you get, they would say. So I want to play as long as possible. I don't really want to put a number on it, but I want to play for as long as my body feels good and my mind, will allow me. Because once I get to a point where it's not fun anymore, then, it doesn't really make sense putting yourself through that. So I just want to keep having fun, enjoying it, and listen to my body, keep taking care of my body. And, I'm going to try to push for as long as it allows me to.
The season that you had last season, getting all the accolades, goalkeeper of the year, was there something that different that you did last year? Your training routine, your nutrition that allowed you to go up a level in terms of your performances?
Every year I try to nitpick in a sense. I would sit down with my goalkeeper coach and we'll do evals, what was good, what could have been better. So last year wasn't any different, and I sat down and did what I needed to do, and then, took a break, went into the off season, and then coming back, we normally have a meeting before we start preseason again, where, the mindset coming in, I get the full off season to really reflect and to see where I'm at, and where I want to be next, So coming into the season, I just tell myself that, all right, listen, you must continue to work hard. What you have done already is in the past, and my aim is to try to get better every year. So with that, I come in and I push myself very hard, and it just happened that last year everything kind of just fall into place nicely, and all the hard work ended up paying off.
Are you a person that, looks at your stats, looks at your footage, what the pundits or analysts are saying about you, or you just follow the advice on the coaching staff and game after game, you try to work harder?
I mean, there's noise and there's distraction. I really don't feed into what people have to say, and because if I don't allow them to make me, then, they can't break me. And if you find yourself getting too caught in, the outside situations, you can find yourself in trouble, because believe it or not, when you have a not so good game, you're going to hear it, and when you do have good games, they're going to have all the nice things to say, and you're going to listen to it, and you're going to feel so good about yourself. But when you have a bad game, if you get so much into it, it can affect you, So I do hear, but I kind of just keep it moving. And that's my way of staying focused and staying grounded and being consistent, because, especially as goalkeepers, the mental aspect of it is so important, that if your headspace is not right, you won't be able to perform well.
Yeah, I mean, a few minutes earlier, you highlighted the praise in terms of your squad in particular. You also have CONCACAF Champions League this year as well. I just wanted to give me your thoughts about how far the team could go this year, especially after the disappointment of last year.
Yeah, I mean, coming up with the Champions League, this is going to be our second appearance in the Champions League, and we did well in 21. Got to the semis. This club again have big goals, big aims, and aspirations. It is definitely a competition that we think we can do well in. We're gonna put our best foot forward, and when you look at the teams that are in it, and then the teams from the MLS, we do have a chance. But then, it's not just on paper. You have to really go out there and really express it on the pitch. So we have a chance, and we're gonna go for it.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been in the league so long, what the MLS is like with, filling up roster slots and trades all around. But I'm sure it was disappointed that, Corey is no longer there at the Union and he's just at another state close by. Could have assisted, the attacking line this season.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him for sure. He's a great person, a great player. What he brings to the team. and even though I wanted to start, coming off the bench he was amazing for us. He was probably the best sub. Was probably the best sub last year in the entire league. He contributed so much for us coming from the bench, bringing that energy and being that goal scoring threat. So we're definitely gonna miss him, but some things are beyond our control, and this is life. And wish him all the best, except for when he's playing against us.
Definitely, I understand what you mean. And how proud are you in terms of, Jamaican goalkeepers getting opportunities? Amal is going to the USL, Jamali Wade's going to the USL as well. Opportunities are open up. More so, outfield players got a lot of opportunities, but now slowly but surely, these things are happening for goalkeepers as well. Jaden White had a few trials last year. Just talking about goalkeepers and Jamaican goalkeepers on the island by extension.
It is necessary. It is necessary. We need to have players, on a regular basis going out and playing overseas. If you look at the teams in CONCACAF that we're really playing against, the US 18, 19, those guys are signing in Europe. Mexico, these clubs that we're really going up against. They have young guys who are actually not playing USL or whatever, they're actually playing in Europe. So, if we want to really be able to keep up, we have to find ways to identify talents and immediately get them, to places where they can really develop and get better. And, I think that's a big part of us really getting to where we want to be as a nation. We have to find these plugs to get the players out of high school. Once you're good enough, we need to make that step, and also to make the league better, because if you're playing at Europe level, there's levels to this game, and college football don't prepare you for MLS, or MLS don't prepare you for example Europe, or Europe don't. So there are levels that if you're not playing at these levels, week in, week out, when you play players that are playing at these levels, it might show. So it's very important, and we have to start somewhere, so for me, I'm very happy to see more players, not just outfield players, but goalkeepers getting opportunity to really go overseas and, to go get better. And for me, the most important thing is, my advice would be, when you get that chance, don't look back. Don't feel like you get a USL contract and you reach. That's the first problem there. After 1 year or 2 years, you find yourself back in Jamaica playing. So it's important to find ways to continue to get better and to put yourself in an environment that you can challenge yourself to be a better person and a better player.
Yeah, fully understand where you're coming from there. When you were growing up and coming through the ranks at Clarendon, was there a goalkeeper that you looked up to, a national goalkeeper or overseas that, gave you that inspiration or motivation?
When I was younger growing up, Edwin van der Sar was always my goalkeeper, and I just liked him for whatever reason. I remember back in the days being just a kid watching Premier League with my brother. He was a Leeds fan at the time. Back then when Leeds was Leeds, But yeah, Edwin van der Sar was really the guy that I looked up to.
So I had a couple of friends that went to CC and they said that you're very good at cricket and basketball. Did you play those before football?
Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket. I would say I love cricket as much as I love football. Probably not as good, but I played Headley Cup. Went to high school with Russell. But obviously they were in a different class from me. But I can do my thing a little bit in cricket. Basketball, I can run around a little bit as well. So, I'm just an athlete where, I feel like any sport we have to do it ball or something.
Mm-hmm.
We can survive.
I fully get what you're saying there. And I mean, for you personally, the attention that you've been getting the last few years, has it come like, wow, where did all of this come from? Like the documentary series recently with the captains, was it a surprise that they chose you out of all these captains in the world and, being captain of the team and just the path that you've taken the last 5, 6 years with the national team? Does it feel like everything just happened so fast?
Yeah, for sure, but that's just the process. Sometimes you be grinding for years, and it seems like nothing is really coming your way, but you just have to keep your head down, keep grinding, keep working, because once you get that breakthrough, in a sense, it's just gonna be coming one after the other, So I just kind of focus on myself, in a sense, where I just worry about myself getting better. And the better I am, the better I'm able to assist my team and assist the people around me. So whatever I do, if I'm a leader, if I'm a goalkeeper, if I'm a opening batsman, whatever I do, I want to be, my maximum potential at it, because I know that only then I can really influence people around me. So, all these attention that I'm getting now, it's just attest to the hard work that I've been putting in over the years, and just never giving up and just keep grinding. There were tough times when you feel like, are you in the right place, or is this what you really want to do? But over the years, you just kind of learn to just fight it out. And, I've had this thing that I just keep with me wherever I go: don't get bitter, get better. So every time I get faced with a tough situation, I just tell myself, don't get bitter, get better. And that's just really been carrying me through.
Well said, well said. And you had the experience last year to mingle and also play under our new coach, Coach Helgrams, and your thoughts about gelling in, knowing his style and the way forward for us in that Argentina game, and of course the conversations you'd have had with him with the way forward with Jamaican football.
Yeah, he's a great coach, also a great person. And he came in and immediately kind of set the bar, set standards as to what he's about, what he's going to accept, what he won't accept. So I'm looking forward to it. I think there's big things in store for him. I think he's got an idea of what he wants. And most importantly, the players, seem to be bought in, and that's that's very important. You need to have as a coach, you need your players to want to play for you. So everything seems to be moving in the right direction. I'm looking forward to it, and we have 4 years to really, build up and get it right. Looking forward to it. We have Nations League coming up. We have Gold Cup coming up. So we're really going to have these tournaments to really figure things out, find the best group of guys with the best team chemistry that's going to be able to get the best results for the team.
Yeah, you spoke about Nations League, that's big coming up in March, a grand opportunity. Maybe you're aware, maybe not, Mexico won't be able to have fans in their stadium. Do you look at this as a plus in Jamaica's favor, that we are being in an environment where there'll be no fans away from home, or still a situation where we have to just be careful?
It's going to be tough either way, but without fans, playing at the Azteca, pretty sure if the gates were open, that would have been a packed stadium. So not having fans in that stadium is going to be a big advantage for us, but it's still going to be a tough game. It's a hard place. It's a really tough environment to play in against a very good Mexican team. So it's going to be tough, but it's possible to go in there and win the game. If we win that game, I think we go to the semis of the Nations League. So, that's motivation for us. We really want to win that game. And them actually not having, that 12th man in the stands, I think that can really, assist us in being able to go there and pull off that win.
Yeah, and as you said, the semi-finals, if we're able to get over the line, which is basically 2 wins away from a trophy, the last time you had a trophy for Jamaica was a Caribbean Cup, which was 9 years ago. So a grand opportunity as well to put another medal around your neck for Jamaica.
Yep. I mean, looking forward to it. There's a lot of trophies to play for this year, both club and country, and I want them all. So
Mhm.
that's my motivation for this year, for this preseason. I need to work as hard as I can because there's still a lot more for me to accomplish as a player, and for my teams to accomplish as well.
Yeah, and we spoke about the Nations League, the Gold Cup as well, as you know, is in the summer as well. It's a tournament that you've played in numerous times as well, coming back a couple of years. You know, as you know, it's a period of time where you have a game like every 2 or 3 days. But if you like, with the quality of the squad at disposal right now, how much you're excited or you're looking forward to this year as a whole, internationally speaking?
Yeah, the Gold Cup is another one that we have had a couple close misses. I think this year could be the year. It kind of sets up nicely for us, with a new coach and his ideas. And we definitely have the talent. There's no doubt about that. It's just going to be a coach finding the right players to fit his system again, because that's very important. As a team, you need this flow, you need this chemistry. You can't feel force. So I'm pretty sure he's going to do a good job in finding the right players who fits the system. Everybody come in, everybody one aim, one goal, everybody bought into the system, and you know, having the talent alone is not enough. It's going to take full focus, commitment, dedication, and something's going to have to give.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you got to saw when Jamaica was at the under 20s last year, but of course there was a lot of talk about our goalkeeper in that tournament, Boyce Clark. I wonder if you had a chance to watch him or even speak to him to give him advice about learning and growing as a keeper and moving forward.
No, unfortunately, I haven't gotten to see him. I haven't really heard anything, which is not good because there should have been a better streamline there. But I'm pretty sure he'll be around more. So eventually I'll get to meet him, maybe I'll get to train with him, and we can go from there.
Yeah, we know what happened. The Cameroon game, of course, was deep into the MLS season, but did you at least have a chance to perhaps watch the game or just track it online so you see the younger guys who got a chance to play and so on?
Yeah, I was able to watch that game. Very proud. Jamali did a really good job as well. And this is it. We need to have younger players playing more of these games, really putting them to the test. That's the only way you're gonna see, can they hold up, can they not hold up. So I think that was a very important game. I think the young guys really went there, they gave a good account of themselves, and that can only make the team better.
Yes, definitely something to look out for. And of course, you being a veteran within the MLS the last 9 seasons or so, based on the quality that is on the island and of course in the national team as a whole, do you think more can break their way into the MLS? Because as you know, there's a lot of emphasis on those that come from England to the States right now. But do you think more Jamaicans have the chance to break into the MLS?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the problem is the mindset. The mindset has to be right. And you probably play schoolboy football and you dominate schoolboy football. And then, what's next? All of a sudden you think, okay, you're the best. And then once you don't train as hard, you don't work as hard, you don't take care of yourself. And then what happens? You end up nowhere. So I think the mindset is important because when you go to a club and you're fighting with a person for the same position, the person is probably as talented as you are. What's gonna be the difference? How are you gonna? Why should I play him over you? You guys both have the same amount of talent and all of that. So I think mindset over the years, it's what's been our biggest downfall, and I'll be completely honest. And it It's a cause for inconsistency. It's a cause for failure and all of that. Because to be honest, schoolboy football is good. It's necessary, but it doesn't really get you ready for anything. You understand? And if you
Yeah, not sure what happened there, Andre, but yeah, you're saying in terms of the schoolboy football, it didn't necessarily prepare. Like the experience you had at CC and then going on to UConn, did you feel like you had to change your game drastically, or the change in or the professional environment you're in just it was different?
Yeah, so there's steps, there's steps to developing. Schoolboy football is necessary, same as our grassroots programs are necessary. You need to learn the fundamentals of the game. You need to learn the game in itself, the positions and the rules and all of that. So grassroots football is necessary. High school football is necessary, and Premier League football is necessary to an extent, but if you ask me, I would rather see a youth right out of high school, going abroad to really, put themselves into a different environment, with all the resources necessary. Because if you ask me, college, I went to college, and that developed me and prepared me as best as possible for MLS. You know what I mean? And I would rather see a youth make that transition than play in the Premier League, because I feel like not knocking the Premier League, but making that transition will actually do more for you in taking that step and really getting to where you want to be.
Yeah, very, very interesting point there. And I mean, finally, Andre, from my end, I mean, you spoke about the environment you're in Philly and how they appreciate and how people in the streets they know football, soccer, and everything like that. There was an interview you did last year where you spoke about opportunities in Holland. I'm just curious as if that it wasn't attractive enough for you, or it was just talks where that was concerned. I know Philly is the priority right now, but I think it's important that people are aware that there is interest, and it's no surprise or doubt based on the interest that lies for you overseas.
Yeah, the Holland situation was a no situation where they needed a goalkeeper. I was in the last year of my contract. They needed me to pretty much come in and start, but it didn't make sense for different reasons. With my age, I'll just be as clear as possible. With my age, they weren't buying me to resell me. And I was negotiating a new deal with Philly at the time, and what they offered, I would actually have to take a pay cut on what I was currently making. So my new deal would have been more. So just imagine having to take a pay cut on what you're currently making, how big of a gap that would be when you get your new deal. So from that point to move my family, to a different country, different language, different culture for less money was a no-brainer. If I was 19 or 18, or even 20 and a single man, then sure, I'll go there for less. I'll go there, I'll dominate the league, and then I get sold, and then that's when, I'll make my money. But I was older, with a family, and being asked to take a pay cut at that time just never makes sense.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. There was when Coach Hall was in the hot seat with you guys, he spoke very vocally about you and based on the work that you're doing. And he even said, he's somebody that can do can do a job for me in England, namely QPR? Did he ever have conversations about you regarding England, what England is about, or even joining him where he is right now?
I feel like he definitely tried. He definitely tried. I think it just never worked out, but I've had conversation with him where, you know, he saw the potential and he tried everything he could. Again, the people were making the decisions, just, I guess, for whatever reason, and it is what it is. And I just can't get too caught up in that. I have to just continue to dominate where I am and make the best of my situation, pretty much.
And the current deal at the union right now is until 2025 or not that year?
It's until 4 with the option for 5.
Okay. Until 4 with the option for 5. Okay. Andre, thank you very much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Keep up the great work. All the best this year, of course, with the Nations League and the Gold Cup on the calendar. Continue to do great things for the country. And hopefully we can end this calendar year with progress and hopefully a trophy heading into the qualifiers next year.
All right, thank you. I hope for the best as well.